I had been diving deep into Python, writing code, running it in the console, staring at those lines of text. It was awesome, don't get me wrong, but something felt missing. Like, where was the visual magic? Where was the interaction? I kept asking myself, what would my code look like if I could actually see it? If I could interact with it like a real app? That question kept haunting me, like a persistent mosquito on a quiet night. You know that feeling? Then it hit me like a jolt of electricity. I remembered a bit of HTML and CSS from way back. What if I combined them with Python to build something with a user interface? Something tangible, something I could actually use. I needed a simple project to test this idea. And what was simpler, more universally needed, than a calculator? Every phone has one, right? Let's make our own. So, first, I started with the HTML. I opened Quick Edit, my trusty text editor on my phone, and created the structure. I added buttons for numbers, operators, AC for clear, and del for delete. Each button was a tag, and I gave them names like button and clear, so Python could recognize them later. It was like designing the buttons on a remote control. Then, for the CSS, we needed to make this look like an iPhone calculator, right? So, I added styles to make the buttons round, giving them the right colors, and setting the layout. It was all about making it look clean and intuitive. I added styles for the container, the answer display, and each button. Look at that, it was starting to take shape. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. Buttons for numbers, operators, and even the AC and del functions. Everything was coming together. I even made the zero button wider, just like the iPhone calculator. Alright, now for the Python. Step 1. Setting up the foundation. We needed Flask, a Python framework that lets us build web apps. It was super lightweight, perfect for this project. Once Flask was installed, we needed to write the backend, the logic that made the calculator work. This was where Python did its magic. We used Flask to handle the calculations. You pressed a button, and Python did the math. No stress, just pure coding joy. I created a route that would handle the calculator's logic. Finally, it was time to test. I ran the Flask app in Termux. I navigated to the internal memory folder where the app was stored, then ran the app. There were a lot of errors. I even forgot to link the CSS file and even wrote bottom instead of button. But in the end, I found and corrected them all. The calculator was smooth, intuitive, and fully functional. Learning Python was great, but combining it with HTML and CSS unlocked a whole new world for me. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this.